Hello, boys and girls. We are continuing with topic 15, lesson 2 today. Yesterday, we focused on a lot of area and perimeter and finding different missing measures and how to use those formulas to apply and find things that we don't know. As I told you, topic 15 is a wide variety of skills. So, lesson 2 is going to focus on different measurement and time and converting units. So, hopefully, this is a review of our science measurement unit that we did a couple months ago. So, I'm going to make a quick connection just to kind of hopefully jog your memories. It says, suppose you have an empty 1 gallon container. They want to know how many times you would have to fill a 1 quart bottle to fill that 1 gallon. And hopefully, if I draw this, it will refresh your memory. Okay, let's start with that. So the G is our gallon, the Q's are our quarts, our P's are our pints, and then in each of those little P's are 2 cups. Okay, so if I have my gallon jug and I want to fill it using a quart bottle, I would need 4 quarts because 1 gallon is the same as 4 quarts. I have my 4 Q's in here. Okay, so this is what you're going to be using for the next problem that we're going on to, and I wanted to use that to hopefully refresh your memory a little. So let's look at our next problem. So the wild bird feeder can hold 8 cups of something, of bird seed. Okay, it says how many times can you fill that feeder from a 3 gallon container of bird seed? So if I go to the store, I buy a 3 gallon bag. Okay, 3 gallon bag of bird seed so that I can fill my bird feeder, right? And the little ledge is sticking up. Okay, I want to fill that bird feeder with bird seed. Okay, it can only hold 8 cups though, so after the birds eat it, I can refill it. But they want to know how many times can we refill that container. You can solve this problem any way you choose, but I actually included a little diagram down here in the corner for us. Okay, so we have our top row is our gallon, our next rows are quarts, so there's 4 of those. Then we have our pints, and there's 8 of those. And then we have our cups, and there's 16 of those. If you count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to put here that 1 gallon is equal to 16 cups. Okay. So I would say the best way to maybe to attack this is to figure out how many cups are in this 3 gallon bag first. Okay. So if I have 16 cups in a gallon, or 16 cups, 16 cups in 1 gallon, and I have 3 of those gallons, okay, that would be like this saying I have 1 gallon, 2 gallon, 3 gallon, 16, 16, and 16. We want to know how many that is. So that is why I set up my 16 times 3 over here. 6 times 3 is 18, carry. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So I have 48 cups in that bag of bird seed. So now I can say, well, now I need to know how many times I can fill this. If we go back to our problem, we already circled it. I can put 8 cups at a time in there. So that would be like saying, every time I fill that bird feeder, I use my 8 cups. I know I have 48 cups of bird seed to use up from this bag. I do not know how many times I can refill that bird feeder based on that. So this picture right here tells me I need to divide. I have a total of 48 cups. I know I can use 8 cups at a time. I just don't know how many times I can use those 8 cups. So I would come down here and do 48 divided by 8. If you used either a math reference sheet or you recall your math facts, we know that 6 times 8 is 48. Okay, so here's my 6. So how many times could we fill that bird feeder? We could fill it 6 times. So there's a few steps to this, and just like with the area and perimeter problems yesterday, there were a few steps to our problems. Okay, so we had to start with our basic conversion chart and work our way through that to find all of our missing information. So now let's take another example and let's look at a time problem. So we have a runner finished a race in 2 hours and 32 minutes. A walker finished the same race in 5 hours 8 minutes. They want to know how much faster was the runner's time than the walker's time. Okay? Now I know our answer is already on the screen, but I would like to kind of walk through this a little with how to solve it. They put a tip here that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Now, it's really hard to say that we can just subtract, and they did a lot of jumping around with their minutes and their hours over here. So I kind of want to not use that right now. I'd rather walk you through how they did that. We cannot just on paper put 5 hours, 8 minutes minus 2 hours, 32 minutes. It will not work. My suggestion is to always take what they give you and turn it into one consistent unit. And I'm going to say let's work everything into minutes. So if I know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, let's find out how many minutes are in 5 hours. So I could take my 60, multiply times 5, because I'm going from a big to a small unit, right? Remember, big to small, we multiply. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. But I can't forget about my 8 minutes over here. So it's going to be 308 minutes. So I'm going to put that right here. Okay. Same thing with the 2 hours. I'm going to take my 60 minutes that I know is in each hour, multiply that by my 2 hours that I have. It's 120, but I need to add my 32 into that. So we get 251. So we get 152 minutes. Now that I'm working with just minutes, it's much easier to find this. So if I want to find my missing part, I have a whole, a part, and a part. So I need to find my difference. So now I can just subtract 308 minus 152. Much easier number to work with than what they had given us over here. 8 minus 2 is 6. I cannot do 0 minus 5. This becomes a 2, and this now becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, they wanted to know how much faster the runner was than the walker. Well, we can say that he was 156 minutes faster, or we can take this now and break it into our minutes again. So if you remember, or minutes and hours, sorry. If you remember, we have 60 minutes in an hour. Now, really, what you would be doing is this, is 156 divided by 60. We did not necessarily teach you how to do that by a division by that two-digit divisor. So my suggestion is to count by 60s. So this would be 120. Okay? So this is 1 hour, 2 hours. If I go a third hour, okay, this does not work because it's bigger than 156. Okay? So I cannot keep going. So I have 120 minutes so far. Now I can do 156 minus 120 because we're up to 2 hours. Okay. Subtract. We had 6, 3, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So I get 2 hours and 36 minutes, which if you look, they had over here. Everything that they did in this circled X out portion, they did over here that we just did. So that's why I wanted to make sure you saw all the thought process behind it. So we'll be doing a lot of practice with measurement and time problems tomorrow as well in class, all right? Thank you, boys and girls.